Hi guys, I'm Lawrence Barberna from Group 3 and I am reporting all about the inner soul. So my topic is all about spirituality. Spirituality, the concept of the whole person is usually associated to the idea of human beings as having physical and psychological aspects. So when you say physical aspects, it relates to our body of the person. And if we say psychological aspects, it relates to the mind of a person. So the physical domain covers the biological aspects of human development, including growth, maturation, and other bodily changes. So, samtang nagkatiguang ta, mag-mature man jud ta, mag-usab atong shape sa atong lawas, o manambok or mataas, muna sa physical aspect sa development. The psychological aspect covers of development focusing on consciousness and attributes that are not directly observable but manifested in behavior. However, there is a third aspect of being human that is as important as the two precedents, the spiritual aspect of the self. Spirituality has been widely studied by a number of researchers and academics across several disciplines but remains to be elusive in terms of having a standard definition. Highlighting the mind-body-spirit connection, the spiritual self is an ongoing personal life journey, contextualized by the belief in a higher being, culture, relationships, nature, and the discovery of meaning in one's life. A number of definitions have been formulated regarding spirituality for Puchalski. Is the aspect of the self that is associated to an individual's process of seeking and expressing meaning and how he or she is connected to the self, to others, to the moment, and to everything else that composes his or her environment, including the sacred and significant. So for Puchalski, it focuses on how an individual seek and express his or her connection to an environment. Like, you are being concerned to your religion, like, mo express kasi mo ang faithfulness ni God by worshiping, by attending the mass every Sunday, and ana ni mo determine kung unsa ka connected ni God. Another definition of spirituality is that it is any experience that is thought to bring the experiencer in contact with the divine. It is not just any experience that feels meaningful. That is from Beauregard and O'Leary, 2007. So for Beauregard and O'Leary, it focuses on experience of a person on how he or she communicates or speaks with the God or the divine. Myers and his colleagues define spirituality as the personal and the private beliefs that transcend the material aspects of life and give a deep sense of wholeness, connectedness, and openness to the infinite. Spirituality embraces the connections with oneself, with others, and with a higher being. There are lots of definitions of what is spirituality, but for me, spirituality is when a person is truly connected to the divine and how or she expresses his connectedness to the sacred or to the divine.
So guys, I am Johnny Balbido and our topic is about spirituality. So guys, there is three definitions have in common with regards to spirituality. First, spirituality talks about meaning and purpose that go beyond the physical realities of life. Going through development, people are inevitably programmed to make realizations about life, and those insights are not always about observable phenomena or environmental experience. Phenomena happening in the environment and personal experience, one goals are observed and subsequently meaning are assigned and philosophical rationalization about why they happen are achieved. While many researchers have said that there is a need to discover the meaning of life, what one should ask himself or herself is, what meaning do I put in my life? The meaning and rationalization one make influence the way life viewed and become the basis of for one's value orientation, and personal standpoints. The meaningfulness of life is assessed if it is worth living. So guys, second is aspect of spirituality is focused on a person's connections to different aspect of his or her existence, to, to other people, to nature, and to sacredness and divinity. Spirituality is relational. In the pursuit of and applying meaning to one's life, relationships are created and sustained not only with people but with other life form with a higher being. The way people relate to others, to family members, to peer in school, and to nature speaks of an individual's core values. So the third one is spirituality talks about the sacred and transcendent. It is a general belief that in this vast universe there is a force higher than the self. In believing that death is inevitable. The different beliefs of what comes afterwards shape how people choose to act and live their lives. The search for sacredness is also triggered by the drive to attain peace and life fulfillment. Acceptance and or contentment is fostered and established despite problems that may occur. Spirituality is a nature part of one developmental process. Its biological influence is rooted in how it is initially based on the awareness of what happened in the environment. Further, in the search for identity and ultimately the self, it is important to contemplate about her and now, as well as the future. However, people are not born with innate spirituality. It is something acquired as a result of various personal, social, and environmental factors present throughout one's lifetime. In this regards, spirituality is related to religiosity, which is often used interchangeable with the former. There are, however, distinct difference between the
Religiosity. It is defined as adherence to a belief system and practices associated with a tradition in which there is an agreement about what is believed and practiced. It is a formal attachment to the set of beliefs, values, and practices of a particular religion sector. It includes specific practices, prescription like what should be done and avoided, and participation in a specific community that shares the same beliefs and practices. So, like as I do, uh, I am a Roman Catholic, and my family are also Roman Catholic. So we share the same beliefs and traditions. So it is true that spirituality it is not innate but developed. Religiosity can be a starting point for spirituality. In other words, uh, being religious is not inborn but it is learned and adopted. As we all know, for example, we are not born to go to church and pray. Instead, we are influenced by our parents, teachers, or mentors, or friends, or organizations, or anyone who is religious. However, as we grow older, we begin to question the roots of our religion, slowly making realizations and insights until we search for the meaning and transcendence goes beyond our religion orientation.
For example, we don't really know or understand why there is so many relics in our Catholic Church, even though it is stated in the Bible that we shall not praise a false god or relics. So we started to question if who do we listen to, or did they really understand what the Bible said, or am I just thinking too deeply? So our religion has become a ritualistic tradition. Eventually it becomes a personal and meaningful manifestation of faith. If religiosity is a common, also it's a common thing, it's common for everybody, then spirituality is individual. Spirituality is not anchored on any religious orientation. It is a personal, objective experience that varies from a person to a person. So in other words, being spiritual, it doesn't mean that you should be religious. Instead, you just show compassion, self-control, and faith. Thus, a person can be spiritual without being religious.